It sounds unreal, and yet this is the story or how we moved from London to a beautiful village in the south of France. It is all thanks to one Facebook post, or more specifically, one person who responded to that Facebook post. So, let's dive in. Hi, my name is Gabi, a mom of 2 little kids and a doggy. Living in London was full on, and after having kids, we just wanted a slower pace of life. We wanted seafront evenings, beautiful surroundings, and you know that charm of a French village life? We have been thinking about moving abroad for a long time, but we never actually acted on it. Until one evening, something changed. It was a Tuesday evening. I was walking home from the nursery with my 2 kids in the rain. Felicia was really hungry, so she was really upset, and Zeki was crying, and I was soaked, and it was just not a pleasant walk. We rushed home, and then I rushed into the kitchen. I made some dinner. After dinner, that was bedtime, and I don't know, just the whole day and the whole evening felt just like a constant rush. And that evening, I sat down on a sofa and I thought, is that it? I'm rushing around all day. I pay pretty much my whole salary to the nursery, and I can hardly see my kids. I just felt something has to change. That evening, I sit down with my husband and we agreed that we actually going to move. We agreed that this is the time we are going to make this happen. And within a year, we left London. We knew we wanted to move to the south of France, but we had no idea where. So in May 2024, we dropped the kids off with their grandma, we packed our car, and we drove to the south of France. We gave ourselves just 7 days to find the perfect place we wanted to move. I honestly don't know what we were thinking. We drove to a country where we've never been before, where we don't know anybody, and we thought, oh, that's fine, we just come here for a week and then we're gonna find a perfect village with a perfect house. Well, obviously that didn't happen, and looking back, perhaps it's not a surprise. Anyway, we didn't find a place where we wanted to move, so we tried another approach. We thought, let's find a long-term rental first so we can move to France, and then once we are here we can figure out the rest. But that turned out to be very difficult too. The first thing you learn when you want to rent in France from abroad is that you are at a massive disadvantage. We spent hours and hours trying to find a property. We looked at big websites like Seloger, Lobacoin. We spent dozens of emails only to meet with silence or a firm no. The problem is that the French rental system is based on trust and the mountain of official paperwork called a dossier to prove that you are a reliable tenant. They want French income, French tax return, and quite often a French guarantor, basically a person who promises to pay if you don't. Obviously, we had none of that, so to them, we were not reliable tenants. We even offered to pay 6 months or even a year up front just to secure a house, and that didn't work either. French bureaucracy is famously complex, and trying to navigate that from a different country where really you have no idea about anything in here, it was very, very difficult. Then we thought, why don't we ask people who already went through the same pain than us? So I posted a question on a Facebook expert group, and I asked if anybody can recommend a good estate agent who is actually willing to take us on. Now that post didn't lead us to an estate agent, but something way more amazing happened. Someone replied and we connected. And this person asked us, where are we in France exactly? And it turned out that we're really close to her. So she invited us to her house. Yes, a complete stranger from the internet was kind enough to invite us to her house to share all her experience about living in France. At that point, she has been living here for 10 years, so she has all the insight about life in here. And she had no second agenda. She didn't want anything else in return. She literally just did this due to pure kindness. That visit was life-changing. She did not only found us a village that we loved, she also introduced us to someone who was willing to rent his house to us. I honestly couldn't believe how lucky we were. In August 2024, so not long after that May trip, we moved to France. And yes, we had our fair share of ups and downs, but the quality of life here is so much better than in the UK. It's just not comparable. We now live in an absolutely stunning place, surrounded by beautiful countryside. We are not far from the Mediterranean Sea, and we are only 3 to 4 hours from the Pyrenees, so we can also go skiing. Addition to that, we have a freshwater river just outside our house where we go swimming every single day. It has been a fantastic journey. That Facebook post did more than just find us a house. This person became a really good friend of ours, and she also introduced us to other people in the area. So with her help, we managed to build a little community around us, and it just felt amazing. We learned that in rural France, there is so much happens through connections and word of mouth that you can't find online, unless you get very lucky, of course. We have now been living here for 10 months, and life, specifically during the summer, is amazing. We managed to settle in the country and more or less know our ways around here, but we have to move again. It was expected because this house was always for a short-term rent. So we're moving into a new house in September, and guess what? The house we are moving into is from a person who was introduced to us by the same person who found us this house. So, Lizzie, if you are watching this, you are a truly, truly, truly amazing person. Honestly, I don't think we could have made this move without your help. So, thank you. If you want to hear more about the good things living in France and the bad things living in France, or you are just interested where we are going to move next, subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video.